Okay, how is that?
Now I see the machine screen.
Oh yeah, there you go, vending machine. Okay. There you go. So here is a live trading actually bot, I would say, but at the very, very basic, very, very core, okay, that I have, right? So I made this again for the hackathon, like for the Hyperliquid one. And I wanted to open source like a multi-trading agent actually, which is not this one really, because this one is kind of powered by Agent Smith v2. And I'll show you in a second actually what it is. So what this is actually basically, it's just a simple dashboard for the agent that I made for this new version. Okay, let me just bump it to like 100%. And what you can see here is the address, which was the address of the trading agent, Agent Smith V1. You can remember it because you had a 888s in there. I felt like it's like a lucky number, so might as well just keep it. And so we can also see the evolution from Agent Smith like V1 to Agent Smith V2. The idea actually is that this thing it's called the vending machine because again the idea is that you have some skills. You maybe are not able to be employable right now in this particular climate with all these AI tools and LLMs, which actually you kind of know that they kind of code better than you, or they write better code than you, right? So how do you go from using your own skills that you have right now, any programming skills, being able to input a decent prompt to the LLM and have it generate you some kind of agent you can start working on or building for the future, right? A great trading agent, start with one before you can do multiple agents, right? You start with one agent, you start building this agent, and then from this agent now you can, trying to see if you can generate revenue on chain, right? It's almost like having some kind of like a hedge fund on online, right? Some kind of hedge fund, right? So vending machine, again here, you can look at the trades. This one comes from trades. This is from a couple of days ago. On the 8th, today is the 10th, right? At 8 a.m. And you can look at the PNL here. It made about 15 cents, 14 cents, 5 cents in the beginning. And I was kind of like recalibrating it because it was like trading for no reason and actually losing a lot of money. And I'm like, okay, well, I give it about 100. I think like it wasn't 100 USDC. Maybe like I give it like 99 or 98 dollars in USDC, and it ended up it lost like a little bit, a few cents, but not too much actually. Maybe like it was like 97 cents, and you lost like a little bit, and then it made like a little bit more, so now it's kind of closer to like 97 dollars, sorry. And this is the current price for Hyperliquid, the Hype token itself, right? And we don't have any positions open right now, so there's no position value, and we don't have any unrealized PNL. So here you will see actually if the position that we have that's open right now, if it's making or losing money. Okay, it's very important. So we see again, we don't have any positions open. It's trading Hype at max position is going to be like half a Hype. I think Hype is at like $43, so whatever that is, half of 43. We take profit at 1%. We have our stop loss at 2%, and we're leveraging at 3x basically on Hyperliquid, right? That's what we have right now. And our risk actually appetite right now is normal, but this will change again later from our risk state to our risk appetite. So now we have actually system health. If something is wrong with our connection, and also actually the last time the data was updated, right? Because we want to make sure that actually we are always looking at the recent trades. It's not like React. It's more like it's like Streamlit. Streamlit is a different kind of it's a very easy way to share data apps like with Python, right? So you don't have to write too much like TypeScript or too much JavaScript or HTML, CSS, no stuff. Right? You can write everything in pretty much in Python, and it will give you like a nice little dashboard. And it's simple. It's like pip install Streamlit, Streamlit hello to create a new project, and then CD into it, and then start hacking away. All right, it's very, very simple, but it's beautiful. It gives you like a really beautiful charts and interfaces that you can UIs you can use to build your dashboard. Okay, so but then I'll share everything that I basically how I do it, and it's how I built. This is very, very, very basic. Again, very, very basic dashboard for this so-called DeFi business we are going to work on and try to improve, called the vending machine. And what is the idea behind the vending machine? If you want to start a vending machine business, we want to have vending machines in many parts of the city, in different buildings, different venues, different businesses, whatever, right? So we want to have a DeFi business, but before we can basically scale our DeFi business and go take our vending machine to all these buildings, let's basically start by building one vending machine, make it successful, make it profitable, then we can think about how do we scale our vending machines. All right. So that is the idea. And then the vending machine is powered by a trading agent named Agent Smith. What is the idea behind Agent Smith? In the movie The Matrix, Agent Smith can multiply himself, and you can have multiple instances of actually Agent Smith. So in this particular instance right here, Agent Smith only trades hype at the very at the current moment, right? He's trading hype. Hyper is basically like the token for Hyperliquid, and it's only trading one per asset, which is basically hype and the hype to USD or USDC. I think it's like hype USD is a pair. When we can see here, it's monitoring hype on mainnet. So we are on mainnet. This is not testnet, okay? And you can see the account number here and the address itself of our thing. And you can look at every single little pieces, basically, what do they mean and why I have it like this. Because I wanted to show you something that's working actually on mainnet, not just theory. Oh yeah, let's actually think about like building agents or building bots or whatever, right? It wouldn't make any sense, okay? And I think like I wouldn't have the authority to be talking about what I'm talking about today. But because I have an agent that's working right now in real time, and actually what we can do is like this. Let's do it in a way where we can bring this thing. Can you guys see my screen still? I believe you can see it, okay? Right? So what is Agent Smith? Agent Smith is a trading agent. It's a bot right now, but we're trying to make it to be actually more like a trading agent powered by LLM, because it doesn't have a brain per se. So I'm slowly but surely building the brain, and the brain of an agent is an LLM. What is an agent? It's an LLM which has access to tools. Okay. So if you look at here, these are my files. I was always like really skeptical to basically show my screen live, especially like on live events or whatever, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, what if they take my my private keys and I'm showing information that I'm not supposed to show, and then some hacker will go to my system and get to my system, blah blah blah. None of that stuff matters, okay? Because to me, it's like one of my friends told me before in cybersecurity. He said, okay, well, you always have to act like your opponent or the guy on the other side, right? Like your nemesis, whatever, knows everything about you, and from that point, what do you do? Right? So it's a different way of thinking about security itself, right? So I said, okay, well, I'm going to share a lot of my information on like online, right? People are looking into it live, but how do I basically make sure that even though I'm sharing information live online, how do I not get hacked? How do I not get people not to take my private keys and all those things, right? So actually, I want to share this information with you, so you know yourself also, like, not to be scared, but also like, what do you do to defend yourself? Because if you're going to do like stuff like live presentations and stuff like that, somebody's always looking. And because someone is always looking, how do you actually make sure that they are not really, able to attack your system, right? And also like really take valuable stuff from your system. So you always got to think about an attacker is on the other side that's watching you at all times. I know it's like a kind of like a nerve-wracking thing, but I think it makes us better at like security, because we're saying that, okay, what if this guy knows everything about us? What if the person on the other side, the attacker, knows everything about us? What do we do to still defend ourselves? Okay, how do we basically do that, right? So I have my .env file here, but obviously I'm not going to be revealing it to you, obviously, because there's some information there, and that's not really the right way to basically build trading agents. There are other tools and other services and other actually like MPC, multi-party computational stuff, or whatever other services that we can have actually, which will make it very much more secure for you to trade. Have autonomous trading capabilities while keeping your keys secure, and that's one of the most important things you can keep in your brain when you're building trading agents. All right, and I know I'm like all over the place, but today again it's just like a co-working space, a co-working session, so that actually I can just like share what I'm working on at the moment, and then we go back to going back again from the beginning, step by step, to think about how do we do all these things. But the problem is that right now the AI is moving so fast. If I do a recorded video, by maybe 2 days later, that information is already obsolete. And the only way to basically keep up to date is like to do stuff like live online, right? Do it live, right? So how do we basically do it live? And then where we are always like on the beat with information as it comes in. You can see like GPT-5 released yesterday. Now there's Gemini 2.5, and I'm sure Gemini 3 is coming up. Claude Code Opus 4.1. Everything is being released left and right. Kimi 2, Quen 3, all the tools, all LLMs from China, all DeepSeek. My favorite LLM for building trading strategies. And we'll actually get into this, why basically DeepSeek is my favorite LLM. Okay. So Agent Smith, we're going to basically have it run right now live, actually, right? So you can kind of see what How does Agent Smith tie into the vending machine itself? And then again, we'll go back again and think about how do you basically build one for yourself? Because this whole thing, the whole premise of this whole video recording live, whatever, the Algo Traders Club, is to give you the tools for you to basically build your own DeFi infrastructure, your own DeFi business on whichever chain you pick. I personally like Hyperliquid. I think it's the best chain right now for building autonomous trading tools or agents, whatever, right?